Hey, what's up, everyone? Today we're going to take a look at the early access version of Raven's Watch. It's a roguelike action game. The main premise is, of course, you pick your heroes here, and there's a day-night cycle. You've got basically 3 days before a nightmare is summoned into the world, and you're trying to, of course, avoid the nightmare taking over your world. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different here, where we're recording at 4K, but we're actually playing the game in 5120 by 1440p.
I shall avenge my people.
And that's mostly because it's the when you go into the settings and look at the the video, you can't really get a good way of like downscaling it to like 1440p in the windowed mode, where even if you do like windowed 1440p, it still takes up the full screen. And I know you could do like, game mode and stuff like that, and mess with the settings there. I just didn't feel like doing that. So we're gonna see if we can't get a good video out of this. And this is actually how I prefer playing it, because the game works out of the box at 5120 by 1440p. So it's like, why not? So this is how I'm playing it. Recording at 4K. The details might be a little bit small if you're like watching this at 1080p or 1440p, so you might want to just bump it up to 4K if you can on your screen, just so you can kind of see the details. Like I said, this is just an experiment to see if this sort of video works. But no, this is the Snow Queen. So we picked the Snow Queen, and this is a character that I didn't really think that I was going to like when I first played, because I just couldn't figure out how to do the damage with the character, because of course I didn't read anything. Like, I hit the play button and I just jumped into the game, and I just started playing, so I didn't read anything, and it didn't go too well like the first round. So this is, I think, I'm what am I, like level 4 or 5 as far as leveling the character. So I've played the Snow Queen quite a bit after playing some of the other characters. So I really thought that I was going to I think it's a Scarlet, who's like an assassin hunter type character, or rogue type character who turned into a werewolf. Like, I thought, as soon as I played Scarlet, I was like, no, I'm definitely playing Scarlet. Scarlet's gonna be my main. But I spent some time with the Snow Queen here to kind of figure out what was going on. And once we get to another fight, I'll tell you how to do the damage, the trick with the damage with Scarlet. With the Snow Queen. And it's all about the shatter effect. So in this case, like, you see, like, I froze that enemy there, or I chill that enemy, and then if, like, on the left bumper, you have a shatter, and all the enemies that have been chilled by your attacks, in this case I've chilled more enemies, they died right off. Hopefully, let's see if we can't get some other ones here. So we got this dash here, and as I touch them, they get chilled, and then I can hit the left bumper and that shatters them. So that's kind of what you want to do, and that's what we kind of focused on, is like dashing into the groups of enemies, like getting them all chilled, and then once the cooldown is on the shatter, you hit that shatter button and you'll do a ton of damage to them, and it really does help. So what I'm running into here is that the last run that I did with the Snow Queen, I had the power up that gave me 2 shatters. So I'm trying to hit it again here, and obviously it's not working, because by default you only have 1. And that's kind of what this game is like. Each playthrough for each character is unique. So you go through, and it's a roguelike, so you level up the character, you get your character itself gets more powerful, but each run starts with a blank slate, as far as the powers that you've gotten, or the upgrades to the powers for your character. So in my case here, I'll be picking everything from scratch. There's a couple that I hope to get, and I don't know, like, if they're going to have a way to set like a preference, or if it's going to truly just be random. What I'm hoping to get is there's a power that will, when you do the dash there, that will send an active attack. So essentially your X attack will essentially shoot like up to 6 of those as you're doing the dash. I'm hoping to get that one this run as well. because that actually is really helpful to this. You know, as you're kind of going in, you're chilling them, and you're also doing some damage as you're going through. And actually, it looks pretty cool too. So in this case, yeah. So we're just going to round up these enemies here, we're going to shatter them, and then we're going to just do the S. We're going to wait for cooldowns to happen. So in our case here, we've got a couple different powers that are on our bar here. Again, the left one for shatter, X is your primary attack. I don't remember the names off the top of my head, but like RT, like one of them was like power or something like that. But anyway, RT is like an area effect chill, so that's one that you'll see where I'll essentially this one here, that's where I'll kind of like drop at. It'll do chill on an area, and then I'll run in with Y, which is like that conical attack here in the direction ahead of you. Excuse me, facing to the primary. Yeah, and of course you're trying to collect these resources here. So this little, I guess, crystalline structure here is basically your currency. So you're going through and you're trying to collect that, and you'll see I've got like 242 of those, and that's what you kind of spend at the vendor to upgrade your powers. There's also like a wishing well that will give you a talent or a trait in exchange for that, so you get to pick up to like 3, I think, traits when you go to the wishing well, and it gets more expensive each time you use it. So you kind of want to balance that between, okay, do you want to spend at the vendor, and the vendor's at the right where you spawn. So again, we'll kind of go through this. Yeah, so I just leveled up here, and when you're playing solo, so I'm playing solo. I haven't played co-op. I don't really think that I will play co-op. So yeah, I don't think I will play co-op. But on solo, when you level up, you hit the left trigger that brings up the level up menu. It'll pause the game so you can kind of pick your skill and really take your time. I think in co-op it doesn't pause, of course, because there's more than one person playing, so it's not just you.
Sometimes I surprise even myself.
Take this guy out real quick. And so scattered throughout the map, there are these shrines, there's treasure chests, there are events and quests and things like that within this world that you'll have to do to gain experience. And again, like I said, I didn't think I was going to like the Snow Queen, but I think
I shall claim what is
I haven't
mine
played
once
anybody else. So like if we go back to the character select screen at the start of the video, you'll see like the Snow Queen's like at level 4 or something like that. Everybody else is at level 1. I have within the early access, there's 2 chapters that you're playing. At least I've encountered 2 chapters that I've played, which is you know, this is the first chapter. After you complete this one, you'll have the option of saving your game and quitting, or going on to the next chapter. And I've beaten it with 3 characters so far. It's like Snow Queen, Scarlet, and then Worm, the guy with the dragon, which is also a good character. Like I actually haven't found like a bad character. So, but I'm actually really liking the Snow Queen, liking this ability to kind of slide and
one nightmare gone, many
you know, move
more
around.
yet to go.
Is actually pretty cool. And I get into a lot of trouble here, whereas like you see, I use the that slide as basically as movement, so it's an additional dash. So I'll get into trouble where I'll dash right into an enemy's attack and then not be able to escape. But yeah, so I found this game on the Steam sale, and the video looked cool, so I was like, alright, it's only a couple. It's like it was like $20 or something like that. So I was like, yeah, why not? Okay, hold on a second. I did not expect. Yeah, okay, hold on. Yeah, I didn't expect. These enemies are a bit stronger than I expected them to be here, so I'm in trouble here. And the problem is they both have shields here, so which means they're elites. Or I guess they have the damage reduction. So when you die, you can respawn. So basically you can spin these Raven's Feathers to respawn. And you get like, 6 of them, I think, total. I'm thinking with co-op they're shared. But with solo, of course, I can spend all of them on me. And I use these a lot. Kind of when I was figuring out this character, and it was probably why I got so frustrated, kind of just jumping in. So the Snow Queen was probably the wrong character to try first without trying any of the other characters, which is probably why I had such a bad opinion of the Snow. So I would say it was like, okay, if there is so I know the game is early access, but it's like if there's an opportunity for like a tutorial session or something like that, is to have like maybe Scarlet or the Worm just do a quick tutorial that goes through the day-night cycle. And actually, I think Scarlet's probably a really good one for a tutorial, because Scarlet is an assassin during the day, or a rogue during the day, and a werewolf at night. So it's like, once it goes nighttime, you get basically a completely new set of powers, and they're similar to what happens in the rogue, so it's like you don't have to learn something completely new. But they're different enough where it feels distinct and different. The playstyle is slightly different, even though it's like, again, it's the same characters, the same actions, but it feels different. So it's like it is a nice bit of a change where it's like, oh yeah, okay, every round you'll first be an assassin, then you'll be the werewolf, and kind of switch back and forth. But that kind of reinforces the fact that this is the day-night cycle. So I would say that would be a good character for like a tutorial, of going through everything. And then plus I think there's the ultimate ability for Scarlet is, for the werewolf at least, lets you regen life. So it's good where if you're playing aggressive, you're getting in there, and then if you have a point where it's like, oh yeah, I'm low on life, you're not hoping for like a health orb to drop or something like that. Like you have an active ability where you can regain some of your life. So, yeah. But back to the Snow Queen here. Again, just rounding them up, getting them all frozen, and then shattering them. So there's a couple of power-ups that you'll get where you'll get like increased crit chance for the number of enemies that are frozen. There's going to have a negative status effect near you. You will have, this is a teleporter, and again, since I didn't read anything, because I actually, when I first started the game, I hit play. I was like, oh, okay, there's no tutorial, thing just drops you right into the game. I didn't even see that there are tabs on the screen where you can go through, like, kind of like read how the game actually works. So I didn't know that there were things that you could, like, I didn't know about the teleporters. I didn't, like, all the stuff that I've been talking about here, I didn't know any of that until I just happened upon it where I was looking for the settings. Again, because I was like, I hit play, I didn't know you could change the settings or anything. I was like, there has to be a way to change the settings. So I ended up finding that stuff. But yeah, but there's a whole screen that will tell you how to play the game. Once you go, like, when the character select screen, if the color is, if you're hitting like right or left bumper, it'll take you to basically a tutorial screen where you can kind of thumb through the pages of the book to figure out how to play the game. But I had fun just kind of figuring out just playing it. Again, I didn't actually know the tutorial was there until I had actually beaten like the first chapter. Just kind of like playing the game and figuring it out, and it wasn't punishing. So we're gonna just teleport back. What I'm doing here is that in this case, I have
entourage for the Queen of Winter.
I'm getting close where it's like, again, you've got the 3 days here, so I'm on the last day. And then there's like a wishing well back here. There's a treasure chest that I want to take a look at. Like there's some other stuff that's over here. So I've teleported back here so I can do the wishing well. And then I'm going to come down here and see if I can't see if there's anything good in this chest. And then we will teleport back to the vendor if we have any money left over to kind of spend the rest at the vendor at the spawn point. again, so I did get the power that I was looking for here,
Anything
which
less
is, you know,
would be
again, I can skate and shoot things as I move. Which, you know, hats off to whoever animated that because it looks cool as hell. It's like you know, Frozone from the Invincibles.
I feel the warmth of foes nearby.
But yeah, but playing it was like the voice acting is great. The graphics are great. Again, I'm playing. Of course, I'm playing on Fedora here through Proton. I'm using the current Proton Experimental. Worked right out of the box. Didn't have any problems with the game at all so far. Like I said, I haven't played multiplayer. Like I said, I doubt I will. But it's. I don't know if there's any anti-cheat or anything like that in the game, so I don't know if there would be any problems with it. I just haven't tried it. Like I said, I don't think I'll try it. Alright. So with the vendor here is like you can either upgrade your talents that you've got, or you can purchase new consumables. Like the consumables like give you like, you know, plus crit or plus vitality or something like that. Or you can kind of increase your powers. I typically do, you know, depending on how the run is going, I'll do like vitality or crit. But if I've got a good set of powers that I like, I'll spend the money there. I think at least when I play the Snow Queen, it seems like I don't earn like the resources, and I don't know if it's my playstyle or not, but it seems like I'm always a little bit short when it comes to, like, you know, being able to spend money on the vendors. Like with the werewolf and Scarlet and the worm, I didn't feel that I was struggling to have money to be able to spend on upgrading things. And that might just be because, you know, the ice powers here, it is a bit of a slower play style, in my opinion. And that's probably why I like the dashing, is it kind of does speed it up a bit and make it feel a little bit more smooth. Whereas again, it's like the Scarlet's like you're super aggressive, like you're dashing in, you're backstabbing, when you're a werewolf, you're slamming down on the ground, you're doing the little blood howl thing or whatever it's called, and then you're going through doing your attack and you're doing your consume so that you can heal, so you're really upfront with enemies. Whereas the Snow Queen here, you do have to be careful because these hits do hurt, and until you kind of get used to the playstyle, you do take a ton of damage.
These shall certainly prove useful. Not
So at
all
this
of them
point,
have been
you know,
defeated
we're just,
yet.
you know, we've only got like a minute left, so, you know, we're just basically trying to get however much experience as we can. What we really want to do is hit level 5 so we can get our ultimate, which, yeah, we will definitely need that ultimate for the boss. The first, like, 3 times I fought the boss, I didn't actually have my ultimate. I didn't even know there was an ultimate. I thought that last power there that's locked, I was like, oh, that must be something that they'll have like in the full game or later release. And until I played like the worm character, I was like, oh no, there's an actually there's an ultimate that's here if you level up enough. So we've leveled up there. So we're gonna finish taking these guys out, and then we'll grab our ultimate ability. Taking a lot. Okay, we just ran out of time, that's fine. So, at the end of the 3rd day, you get teleported to the Nightmare. I guess that's what you're calling it, but it's a nightmare that's coming to invade your world. And this is your boss. So this is a bit of like a, this particular one is like a bullet hell. So this is Frost Ray. I like Frost Ray here. So with this boss, you have to dodge the tentacles, and they do slam, and those slams do hurt. And then the boss will periodically do this, which is just spray bullets everywhere. Those cones, so the boss itself will also slam its tentacles down, and those will one-shot you. At least on this character, they will one-shot you. So you want to always avoid that. Once you take out a tentacle, it will spawn the air, so that on the left-hand side over there, there's basically an AoE effect there where if you stand in it, you'll take damage over time. So you're kind of, again, dodging the tentacles, dodging the air effects, and the boss itself is also doing that too. So there's a lot going on right now. And as you can see, I am not doing the best at dodging right now. Ouch. Alright, so the goal in this case here is to be able to take out, so you want to take out these tentacles. If you take out all the tentacles, it'll stun the boss. And for this character, let's do a Ray of Frost here. And that does a ton of damage, which is, again, this is why you want to have your ultimate ability. And we're just going to get in here, try to stun this guy real quick, do some shatters as soon as we can. We got 5 seconds, so hopefully this is a long time. Got it. Alright. So you can actually just directly attack the boss. You don't have to take out the tentacles. But with this particular character, that cast time is long. And then some of these things, like where you do like the Y attack, you can't cancel out of it and dash. So if you're casting and the boss does this attack here, you're basically stuck. You have to eat all those. Or if one of the tentacles is going to slam down, and you're in the middle of casting something, you'll have to eat it. The same thing here with the Ray of Frost. Like if you cast it while those tentacles up and they slam you, and the boss is doing this, you're going to get hit every single time. So you really do want to at least thin out the tentacles. Wow. Yeah, so I'm kind of in a bad spot here. But I'm really loving this dash power. Alright, so we've got one more tentacle to go. So we'll take this one out. Heal up. Oops. So yeah, that was the point where, again, since I'm using that dash, I don't think it's actually the dash. I can't remember what it is. It's like the slide. The dash is the actual like, dodge. I think the dodge that you do is the actual dash. But yeah, so we got the last tentacle, the Ray of Frost, and we got him. So again, but this has been... It took me a while to kind of figure this out again because I didn't read anything. So yep, we're at the end of the chapter. We can save, or we can continue. In this case, we're going to just go ahead and save and go back to the menu. Right, this has been Raven's Watch, their early access. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.